Hi, and welcome to this week's Three Legs, Four Wheels F1 podcast. It's Paul here with...
Sean.
Kieran.
Lee.
Right, we got through the intro without any technical fuck-ups.
Yes.
Amazing.
Right, let's see if we can manage this for at least the next 45 minutes. How are we all doing?
Awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
solid.
Bit warm.
Yeah, I'm not used to this warmness.
Yeah.
But where's the rain?
Well, it's TT next week, isn't it? So it'll probably all hit then for us.
Ah, yeah, of course. Yeah, on the Isle of Man, we're just about to have 2 weeks of TT, which means the 2 weeks will be absolutely chucking it down.
Well, what happens when it rains over there? Can you actually do racing?
No. Because it never rains evenly, so there's like a wet tyre just doesn't work because there'll be a dry bit, then a wet bit, then a sort of under the trees slightly greasy bit, and yeah.
And then it's always low cloud, so the emergency helicopter can't take off.
No, Lee. No. No.
And you're not allowed to fly a drone within 1 kilometre of the outside of the course or anywhere on the inside.
Are you not?
No,
boring,
the banned all
The
drones.
drone might interfere with the helicopter is the concern.
I realised just how midlife I am this week because I've been pricing up amateur drones.
What?
I've got one. I've used it precisely once, and I decapitated next door's plants. So I put it back in the box, and it's now in the garage.
That's what I imagine. That's what I imagine is going to happen to my drone as well. It's not putting me off buying one. Did you also buy one of the DJ ones?
No, it was kind of we've got a DJI one at home.
Right.
It didn't come from Wish or Temu.
It was over £7?
It didn't when I bought it.
In weight.
This runs on Windows 3.1.
I must get that out and charge it up and see if I can remove the foliage from it and try it again at some point. After TT's.
I was going to say, maybe not for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. After TT's done.
Don't
and
want to
done.
cause an incident.
But it is.
You go to prison if you cross the track and all that, right?
Yeah.
You can do. There were a couple of people caught with drones last year that got like huge fines, like thousands of pounds worth of fine. One of them got their drone seized.
All things considered, that's probably better than prison.
Probably.
But I think that people have been sent to prison for trespassing on the track.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Even when there isn't a bike within 5-10 miles. It's fully closed roads.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you come over for the TT, don't go on the track during practice and race sessions.
Yeah. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah. So Lando Norris, we're saying that one to you after crossing a live track in Miami. Shall we talk about Formula One?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why
not?
Because we've had what turned into an interesting Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It looked like, for about the first two-thirds of the race, it was going to be boring and predictable, and we actually had a decent ending to it.
It was a slow burner, wasn't it? It sort of it drifted a bit in the middle, but it did. It came back to us.
Yeah, kind of like that curry where it only hits you when you get home.
Or afterwards.
On the morning after. Like your buffalo cauliflower.
Burns on the way in, burns on the way out.
Oh, I've just had for my food slightly undercooked stuffed peppers, and my stomach is a roller coaster right now. So less of a buffalo cauliflower chat. If I disappear for 10 minutes, that's why. It wasn't. It was one of those hallmark races where people were close. There could have been some overtaken, and yet no.
Yeah.
Or not as much as there should have been. But they shortened the DRS, didn't they?
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
did they? I didn't notice.
Apparently it was something like 35 metres shorter this year, which isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. But I'm surprised they shortened it.
I didn't notice that.
See, we didn't have it last year, did we? Because it was
No.
it seems a silly thing to do is to change something like that when you haven't raced on it the year before. It's almost like it's like reactionary without actually getting a proper reading on things first.
Yeah.
But at least they put gravel traps in.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been saying for God knows how long we need gravel traps. That'll stop the track limits thing. And track limits wasn't a big issue this week. I mean, maybe they're all preparing for Monaco next weekend.
Yeah.
Track limits known as the harbour.
Yes.
That'll keep him on the track.
Oh, he's done track limits. Oh, he's drowning.
He's got a wet arse.
Is that why they call it the
No
poop
offence,
deck?
Alberto Ascari.
Got away with that one. But yeah, I mean, Imola is one of those. It's one of those sort of classic racing circuits because I've said over the last sort of week or so, you know, the teams have got to find the balance. There's fast bits, there's slow bits, there's gradients, so you need to worry about that. You know, fast uphill corners, and the teams seem to have to get the balance of it right because different parts of the track will suit different cars and different setups and knacker tyres up if the cars are set the wrong way. And this is why I think it shows the progress McLaren have made more than Miami did, even though obviously Lando won in Miami. Because they've got a car that is fast in a variety of situations rather than a more or less flat AI-designed Tilke tribute act.
Yeah. Yeah, if McLaren are quick at Monaco, they could go very far this year. But it also buries Ferrari, basically. Ferrari aren't winning a race this year as it stands.
Well, they'll strategise themselves out of it, won't they?
Yeah. For now.
Yeah. It's then again, have they let the wrong driver go?
I mean, it looks like it, doesn't it?
I don't know. Because Leclerc's second in the championship after all.
But Sainz missed a race.
That is true, yeah. Yeah,
I
fair
think
point.
they're just probably on par. The only difference between Sainz and Leclerc is Leclerc has fundamentally a whisker more pace, I think, than Carlos. But we've seen it before. He bottles it. Like we saw it in this weekend where he was it Lando he was chasing down? He ended up
He
going
got very
wide
close to Lando.
Yeah, and he skipped the chicane, and it was just it's such a Leclerc move that to be within a whisker of doing something, and then like throwing it into the scenery.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? 2 years ago, he stuck it in the wall at Variante Alta because he bounced over the first part of the chicane there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was like second, and then he ended up 6th or 7th or something in the end. Forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you miss a race for a year, you can't remember what happened the last time they were at that circuit.
60% of the time, it works 100% of the time. Charles Leclerc. That's actually quite accurate.
But yeah, he's got the pace, but he's less crashy than Carlos. And Carlos has, as he's proved, a better strategical brain. Usually telling the pit wall where to put it when they suggest something stupid.
Yeah, he's got the Seb strain.
And yeah, this season's going to tell us what Ferrari's future is going to be like and who will be the number 2 driver next year. Yeah, the guy that sold the family silver for, or the guy who is apparently, the next Schumacher in their eyes.
I mean, you're saying they're not going to win a race this year. They have already won a race this year.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Do you mean another race?
Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, God almighty.
Come for the bad jokes, stay for the accuracy.
Please still come.
Leave the soundboard alone.
Guys, it's coming! It's coming! It's coming!
Sorry. Literally, I had my finger on the button just as you said it.
We have had people actually commenting saying that their favourite feature on the show, now there's no Who's a Total Shunt anymore, is your soundboard.
Oh dear! Can we pass all those people over to my actual radio show? Is there any chance of that? it's come gags and more. But at 8 a.m. Sorry.
Yes. Oh yeah. Talking of Total Shunt, I'm just going to veer off into a tangent for a minute.
This never happens on this podcast.
No, not in the slightest. A very good friend of ours, Mr. Faber, has set up a go-karting team in the US, FC Motorsports. They did the 6-hour endurance Grand Prix of New York as their first team race, and only went and bloody won it, and there's 3 Legs 4 Wheels logos over everything.
Hooray!
And because there's 3 Legs 4 Wheels logos over everything, people kept coming up to him at the go-karting park and saying, I listen to 3 Legs 4 Wheels. So he said, oh, right, there you go, the friends of mine. And he got asked about 4 or 5 times, whatever happened to Total Shunt?
That's ridiculous.
That is slightly mad.
We enjoyed the hour and a half of chat, but the factual quiz at the end.
Yeah, the problem we've got with your podcast is last bit.
I didn't hear what the problem was because everything just started squeaking.
Yeah, you got that as well. Yeah, that was weird.
Oh.
Do you want to try that one again, Lee?
Maybe they're right. I said the problem is... Yeah, I'll try. I'll try. I said the only problem they had with the podcast was the podcast bit.
They just needed to find a good quiz show.
Yeah,
but, I mean, if you had an hour to kill on a Saturday afternoon, do you watch The Godfather Part 2 or 2 episodes of The Chase?
Never seen either.
So
I couldn't possibly comment.
Because I've been watching The Chase.
But yeah, congratulations to the guys in FC Motorsports for that fantastic win and carrying our logo over the finish line first. So we'll be back with more info on that team during the season, and we'll have to arrange to get the guys on, because I think they are our new racing team, because they're actually doing races carrying our logos now that Dave's retired. I think James.
It's fantastic. I've never won anything before. I mean, I haven't now, but you know,
you feel like you're part of it.
You're winning vicariously.
Yeah, exactly that.
And as for the Total Shunt return, Lee?
Yeah. Give the audience what they want. Get Chris and the guitar back.
We will try and do one occasionally.
Special anniversary ones.
Yeah.
400th and all that.
Yeah. Tell you what, if anybody wants to send in a Total Shunt, send it to me and I'll compile them and I'll be the one asking the questions.
It sounds quite threatening.
Because it's always been funnier listening to Lee sort of struggle.
I know nothing about. I know no history of Formula One. And if you do a Total Shunt, let's be fair, it's a tribute act. It's not the real thing.
Right? Okay. In that case, we'll do the one I came up with, which was, who the bloody hell's that then?
That's an even worse tribute act.
Mummy, Daddy, stop fighting.
All you did
I'm
was
hungry.
prove my point with a tribute act name.
But yeah, send a bit. We will find some form of quiz to put on the show sometime soon. We promise.
Yes.
Next time we have a production meeting, how we fix for 2027.
Maybe a summer special, a summer break special.
Yeah, summer break Total Shunt special. That works.
But the more people say they enjoy it, is the closer it gets to going behind a paywall. Yeah.
It's an interesting point.
What is our current Patreon tier? What's the highest one?
Yeah, the one that nobody subscribes to.
Well, they might do soon.
I mean, I'm still subscribed. I pay to hear myself.
If it's any consolation, I am as well. So
Yeah.
Double wild. Anyway, Formula One race.
Formula One
yeah.
race. Yeah, I was going to say little other bit of news is Alex Albon signing a long-term, they've not said how long, deal at Williams. So that's the first domino not to fall of this silly season.
Yeah.
Is it fuel to the Adrian Newey fire?
Well, either Williams
He's
have,
gonna go.
if Williams haven't got Adrian Newey, Alex Albon is not as smart as I thought he was. Which is probably a bit rude, but
But I mean, don't forget the other day, the artist formerly known as Eddie Jordan was doing doing that Q&A with Newey.
yeah.
You know, let slip Zach Brown's name.
Eddie Jordan has never let slip anything in his life. Carefully dropped.
Just imagine I was air quoting when I said let slip. You know. Who was it that said, is he just dropping the name because it's a done deal and they're just trying to get some extra money from other teams?
I think that was me.
I remember seeing it, but I didn't. I remember seeing it on our chat thread.
I stand by it.
No,
I agree.
No, I think you are probably 100% right.
Do you know the
60% of the time.
I don't buy with that is I don't think Adrian Newey has to do that.
No, but Eddie Jordan as his manager will get a cut of it. So he
No,
might
no,
like
I-
to do that.
I don't mean like the money in his pocket. I think his value is so high he doesn't need to do that. He can walk into a room and go to Ferrari and say, McLaren have offered me this, and Ferrari will go, we'll offer you this. Then he can go to Williams and I say, well, Ferrari offered me this, and they'll say, well, we can't offer you that, but we can give you half the team.
But as his manager, Eddie Jordan is the one doing it, not Adrian Newey. And he likes
Oh,
the
yeah,
games.
no, But that's what I mean. Though. I don't think you need to barter with Adrian Newey. I think it's just like any team will offer him enough money. It's more down to what his choice is going to be.
I think Adrian Newey's just left Red Bull to give Eddie Jordan something to do.
Maybe.
Go on, negotiate a contract, run along, lad.
I feel that was a slip because I think he generally looks like an awkward person anyway. The Adrian Newey, but he looked even slightly more awkwarder than normal. I'd love to see it. I mean, personally, I'd like to see him go to Williams because if it could help bring another team that's at the back of the grid to the front of the grid, great. But if it can't be, it's obviously not going to be Aston Martin. I feel Aston Martin might come to an imploding.
They're
soon,
heading
to
the
be
other
honest.
way, aren't they, very much?
Yeah. But if it can't be Williams, McLaren would be great. I'd take him. I'd take McLaren. I'd take Lando in a Adrian Newey car.
Yeah, I agree. Then I don't know if Adrian Newey thinks this way, but do you think he goes, I like that guy, I want to make him a champion?
I don't
Because he
know.
said about, you wish he'd worked with Alonso, you wish he'd worked with Lewis. Do you think he looks into the future slightly? It doesn't seem his way, but I don't know.
I don't think he's. I think obviously he's confident in his own abilities. Excuse me, but I don't think he's arrogant enough to think I will go, especially at his age right now. You're talking how old is he? 60? Is he 68?
He's in his 60s.
Yeah.
Also.
65. So I think say Twilight of Life is probably slightly unfair, but it's definitely getting orange around the cloud area. So
It's
he's
back end of career, at least, isn't it?
Yeah, but definitely the twilight of his career.
He is 65.
So is he 60 on the nail?
65.
All right.
Younger than
So-
Bruce Springsteen, and he's still doing 3.5-hour sets.
I mean, it's a different gig, isn't it? Bruce
Yeah.
Springsteen versus Adrian Newey, if we're honest. I
Have
don't
you-
know that they're directly comparable.
Have you heard Adrian Newey's Glory Days? It's fucking awful.
But yeah, I just saying. I think he might. What am I just saying now? I've been completely thrown. I don't think he's arrogant enough to think I can just go to this team and they will become like world champions in 26 because of a rule change. I think he's confident enough to go. I can still add stuff, but I don't think he would think, oh, I can go there and he'll become world champion.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think he is looking for something that's already there that he can work with, rather than going in and building something up from nowhere.
I mean, McLaren and Ferrari are the optimal ones for him, I'd say, because he'll probably get to design a supercar at both of those.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
It's interesting that he's already knocked Ferrari back so many times, though.
yeah, but they still keep coming for him.
Now, he doesn't want to live there, I think, is his main issue, isn't it?
Yeah. He's got his boat in South Africa as well, hasn't he? He could go to Williams and, really fill up his time designing Formula E batteries.
Oh, I was just about to say, don't forget the last road-going car to have the Williams name on it was a Clio.
Do you know what? That joke isn't as off point as you think it might be, because he's got some big things to say about the EV market. And he said that he believes that the big car manufacturers are making like fundamental issues when it comes to EVs, and it doesn't sound ridiculous to me at all that he might go down that road.
Yeah. Do you think he would actually go for it, knowing that it's probably for a road market more than a racing market, though?
I don't know. If I was Formula E, I would I would essentially be offering him whatever it took to make Formula E Formula Adrian Newey.
Yeah.
And have him design you design what Gen fucking 8 Formula E cars are going to be.
The Gen 2 car had all the potential because it looked like it should be a Batmobile.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't.
No.
Well, the problem with Formula E as well is they close themselves off so much with tires too. It's a stupid gesture having road tires on racing cars.
Yeah, but to be fair, given the quality of driving on there, if the tyres are sort of limiting the cornering speed, it's probably a good idea, because you don't want those drivers taking corners any quicker than they already do, because they're already shit at it.
Good point.
As the Formula E has become Tour de France as well recently. It hurts to be in the lead because it uses up all your battery.
Yes.
So you have
Don't speak to me like I know what the current state of Formula E is.
I've always really liked Formula E, but this version of it is a little dull.
I always
I
enjoyed the
want
fact
to
that,
like Formula E, and then I watch it, and it's like,
yeah. There was also that hot minute, wasn't there, where like half of the thrill of Formula E was trying to work out what channel it was on.
First 12 laps on BBC Parliament red button, then it switches to Discovery Shed.
For the rest of the Berlin E-Prix, turn to Television X, where the lovely Linda will commentate over the next 12 laps. Yeah.
Shall we do the team by team from this
Yes.
weekend then?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Start off with Williams. Albon being the only DNF and Logan Sargent not being last.
yes, that's exciting.
17th, nosebleed territory.
Who was last then?
Alonso.
Joe?
Alonso.
Alonso,
He was
of
running.
course,
He was
yeah.
running it as a test.
Yeah.
Bottas had he did a one stop that didn't really pay off, didn't he? So I think Sargent got past him quite late on.
It was only with a few laps left. But yeah, Williams. I mean, Albon's race got ruined by a Duff pit stop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then penalised, and then had to do another 2 stops because he broken his last set of hard tyres.
Yeah, I think he did 4 in the end before he retired.
Yeah, total of 5 stops. So yeah, that's about right. It was a bad weekend all round for tyre changes because if you watch the F2 race, there was a lot of tyres bouncing around the pit lane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, that was funny. my dad rang me to tell me how funny he found that. You watching? Yes. Funny, isn't it? In a 6-lap go, Dad. Yeah, the rear left came off someone, didn't it? A Cordial, it came off. It hit the bloke who was changing the rear left on the car in front. That bloke went, "Oh, what was that?" Anyway, I'm just going to put this tyre on. No, come back! And that tyre went off.
And then one of the tyres bounced off another wheel into the air and then hit a railing next to, I think it was the Prema pit box.
Yes, because I think they thought the Prema guy got hit at first, but I think he just did a slightly sort of overreaction to it.
He Rivaldo'd it.
It was a really dramatic reaction to a tyre hitting a thing near where he was stood.
But at least with Albon, all 4 wheels stayed on. It's just that he ended up with a 10-second penalty, and apparently the team aren't getting fined.
Yeah, I think because it didn't actually come off.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So because he admitted it, that's what gave him the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
If he'd have just come back in, if he'd have just come back into the pits and said, "This is driving funny. Can you take a look?" he wouldn't have got the penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I when he said, "Oh, the wasn't put on properly," I did think to myself, I'm because I remember Alonso in the same position, like radioing in with some sort of bizarre message, like trying to say he was coming in for some unknown reason. It was because there was a tyre loose.
The squirrel hasn't buried its nuts in the right place.
It's Kieran.
Oh, sorry.
That is how you do it when you've not got sticky nuts.
You know what the secret of comedy is, timing?
Yes.
So yeah, that's the second race on the trot where somebody's found themselves in the shit because of things that they've said. Because K-Mag getting bollocked by the stewards in Miami for saying, yes, I did. I was blocking him deliberately to help the team out. Oh, that's unsporting.
And that was found not to be unsporting. He was found not to have broken any rule on that one.
Yeah.
So they're probably writing the new rule now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Did you hear Montoya talking about the incident with Magnussen? And he was saying how ridiculous, like the idea that blocking somebody could be looked at as unsportsmanly behaviour. He said the fact that he's like, even the fact that he's at the point of a ban almost, he said is ridiculous. He said if I was still driving, I'd get a ban every 5 races.
He did like to get his elbows out to JPM. Actually, you've seen him. He did a guest spot in Brazilian stock cars, and he was throwing his elbows out in those. But everybody crashed. And as for Logan Sargent, what can you say apart from, oh God, why is he still there?
He was there.
Why?
He was there, though.
Why is
Apparently
why
he's
is
had
he
a
still?
stern chat.
Yes, I think he's had a telling off, hasn't he?
You know, they need somebody else in that car as soon as possible. He shouldn't see the season out. He's just so slow.
So allegedly he is going to see the season out, but Bottas will then replace him next year, apparently. It's being reported by someone today.
I'm not sure Bottas is hugely quicker at the minute.
Bottas will probably bring more sponsors in though, and that'll pay
It's
for
difficult
for Adrian Newey.
Yeah.
They've been upgraded to premium economy. The idea there is that it sounds like Mercedes probably are going to take Kimi Antonelli, right? So at that point, Logan Sargent has to be replaced with somebody. The guys in F2 are Zach O'Sullivan and Franco Colapinto. Colapinto won the race, but he's not going to be good enough for F1 next year. That's the same as Logan Sargent. Zach O'Sullivan won't be ready yet.
No.
And at that point, you may as well take a Bottas. So, just to have some sort of consistency of maybe not last place. Plus, you never know. It might be that Kicks Alba stake, wherever it is actually just rubbish. Zhou and Bottas are okay. And we get to see how Bottas, after 11 years, compares to Albon.
I think that's definitely a closer thing. I think that kit car is not ideal.
No.
I'm not convinced by the Antonelli to Mercedes next year. I think in an ideal world they would want to give him another year because he's not shone.
Absolutely agree. He's not doing it in F2, is he?
No.
He got a little bit lucky this weekend, and that was fourth.
Yeah.
It's funny how all the people still talk about him like he's a second coming. Sorry if I'm speaking over people here. I think there's some sort of lag too. I don't mean to do.
No, you're all right.
No. It's me who usually speaks over. I have to apologise for that.
But I like everyone that speaks about Antonelli, like still speak about him as if he is the second coming. So there's whatever's going on, because obviously we see what's going on the on the track when it comes to F2, but he's obviously doing lots of simulator work and stuff like that behind the scenes. I tend to think that he is going to go to Mercedes next year because it makes no difference to Mercedes. Like the reason they threw George Russell into Williams was because they couldn't risk getting somebody up to speed and losing the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes are going to be nowhere again next year.
Part of me still thinks they're going to try and talk Vettel out of retirement.
You've been borrowing some of that crack from your neighbour.
I mean, they do own Vettel's brother with his sports cars. He races for Mercedes.
Does he?
Yeah.
God, what? Bob Vettel? What's his name?
Fabian, I think. Little brother Vettel.
Vettel.
Ralph?
Mini Vettel.
No, it's not a Ralph. I'm sure it's Fabian.
Oh, he can't be a Vettel. He's got all his hair.
He is younger. I think he's a fair chunk younger.
Oh, yeah, 10 years younger. Oh, okay. There's another Seb. I mean, I don't want to do his brother down, but Seb has 4 world titles, and this bloke's taken part in the Nürburgring Langstrecken Serie SP11.
The pinnacle of motorsport.
I think that's a King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard album.
It's the one that Jimmy Broadbent races in. I know that much. It was on YouTube the other week. And
that's like saying I'm boxing KSI this weekend.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I love Jimmy Broadbent as much as the next person that watches YouTube videos, but I think you might have just proved Kieran's point there, not your own.
And as for my attempt at the Nürburgring 24 this weekend, the less said about that, the better, because we retired after an hour and 3/4 in the pits with a blown engine.
Oh.
So you saved yourself 22.25 hours, in my view.
Now, it gave me some more practice for the Indy 500 I was doing last night, where I retired on lap 95 after sticking it in the wall.
How many laps were left?
105.
It's quite a few.
Yeah, didn't even make
you
it.
You saved yourself 22 hours
halfway.
and a quarter. Every time we've had Sky Sports F1 on, basically on the TV whenever you turn it on for the last 3 days, Jane is sick and tired of turning it on, and just at any time at the moment, Indy 500 practice. She's sick of it.
We've been watching it avidly. I've been taking tips. That tight right hander on turn 5, I can nearly get that right now.
I didn't know Jimmy Broadbent was racing in the Indy 500 this year.
All of a sudden, Seb's brother looks like just the ticket.
Yeah, moving on. We'll do the crap car next. The Sauber Kick Audi Martin
Yes.
thing. The green and black one. Yeah, utterly anonymous.
Yeah.
As they always have a tendency to be when, well, just always. I started that without knowing how it was going to end.
Yeah, I know with Bottas, he did, to be fair, try a one-stop. He tried to do something a bit different. It didn't work. I don't know what Zhou did, but I don't remember noticing Zhou, if I'm honest.
Zhou did a one-stopper and finished about 5 seconds, 10 seconds ahead of Bottas.
Cool.
Yeah,
very much
15th
participation.
For Zhou. Yeah, 15th for Zhou, 18th for Bottas, and it was just I mean, doing a one-stopper for them is probably a good idea, seeing as the pit stops take about an hour.
This is true.
And that's about the best you can say about them.
They're just treading water, aren't they, at the moment? They are just hanging on until next year when they can do something a bit different.
With Sainz and Hulk in the team. Well, I suppose Sainz is going there, isn't he?
Probably.
They've been after him. Yeah. The only thing is it's not been officially denied yet.
Yeah. This is why I'm a bit sort of, maybe on it.
Apparently he's got until the end of the month to make the decision, or allegedly Sauber are going to move on. To who? Who are you moving on to there?
Do they own Zane Maloney?
Yeah, I think they do.
Yes.
So if he wins an F2 title, there's an option.
Sounds like the Teo Porcher train is not stopping at F1, is it?
No, he's obviously now in IndyCar with McLaren, so...
Yeah.
Doing the rest of the season apart from the 500, as they keep reminding us.
Yes.
I really do feel as if they should have put Porcher in that seat this year, but I guess, I don't know, politics, Chinese Grand Prix, I don't know.
It's... Yeah, they always end up as nothing of a team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet again.
Yeah. You know, this is this is our 10th season. I think it's been every year. It's just, oh right, okay. Oh, they've signed someone. Oh right, oh yeah, they're down the back. Participation award.
Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. Only only Sauber could make Audi coming into Formula One boring.
Yeah.
I wonder if they might go for Seb
or Fabian.
Or Fabian, yeah, or little Seb.
No, they said they wanted at least one German driver in the car, which they've now got, or they now will have. But at least
worked fabulously to get 2 German drivers. Worked fabulously for Mercedes.
2 Germans?
It didn't.
One and a third.
It did
Germans.
after they got rid of one of them.
Yeah,
1 and a third Germans.
Yeah. Who's a third German?
1 and a third. Well, Rosberg was a third German.
Oh God, I was thinking, what third is Schumacher? No, you're right, Rosberg. Yeah, good point. I was thinking you were tying a third of Lewis's heritage there.
Don't make me play the Rosbergian national anthem again.
No, I don't want it.
No, people complain when I do that. People complain more about me playing that than the not being a total shunt anymore.
Yeah. There's one thing we can all agree on: it's the lack of Rosbergian. Yeah, I don't know. I think they should offer a lot of money to Sainz, and I think Sainz should turn them down and see what else comes up. I think Sainz is better off suited at Williams than Sauber in the long run, for aforementioned fault of the back reasons.
I would like to see Sainz either in a Red Bull or a Mercedes.
Absolutely. I was him in the Mercedes, but it's just not going to happen.
Or possibly even an Aston Martin if they can get the shit together, replacing Stroll.
Yeah.
If you are listening to the podcast through headphones this week and can hear a sort of wet noise in the background, that is the sound of a podcat vigorously drinking from a bowl of water.
Vigorous. Drinking this vigorously.
Never known a cat drink as loud as he does. Right. Alpine, they're sponsored by water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did anyone see either of them do anything notable when they finished 14th and 16th?
Ocon had some good racing with Stroll early on, didn't he? Which we thought was going to end in a crash and somehow didn't.
Yeah. There was a little bit of bumpers, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But nothing too
Bit
outrageous.
of wheel banging.
Yeah. Lap 1 stuff.
Yeah.
Gasly, that's the participation award.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I don't remember Gasly
I
doing
couldn't tell
anything.
you. I could not tell you what that man did during that race.
No.
He took part in the start and took part in the finish. Have Renault done a press release?
Have you seen that they've both put in transfer requests that they want to leave the team? Like, yeah. Where? Where do you want to go?
Who wants you? Who do you think is going to take you on?
Who's taking Pierre Gasly right now?
I can't even find the Renault press release. I don't know if they've actually done one or not. If there was that little to say.
Would it be a Renault press release? Or
Sorry,
would it be
the
an
Alpine. Yeah, I'm looking for Alpine. No, I don't. They haven't even bothered. They sent an email out about the Clio Cup, and that was it.
Fun.
So yeah, I mean, if Alpine can't even be bothered to talk about what happened, we shouldn't as well. And let's move on to Haas.
Yeah.
11th and 12th.
Not bad.
Good comeback from K-Mag because he qualified pretty low down.
Yeah.
Mainly because of Piastri. Oh, that's who he blamed.
Yes. Yep, Piastri got a penalty.
Yeah. How do you like being blocked? And then Hulk got through to Q3 and just didn't have the pace in the end.
No, it took that qualifying lap though. He's over the last couple of weeks, he's really proven why Audi have gone. All right, we're going to give him the deal to bring him into our team.
Yeah, he's really he's a regular in Q3 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe it's almost got to a point where F1 missed Hulkenberg for a couple of years. And if they had him in that Stroll seat in the 2020 season, he could have really done handy things for Racing Point or Force India or whoever could have had Hulkenberg at that time. Arguably, when Mazepin went and they replaced him with Magnussen, you could probably argue that Hulkenberg might have got Haas out of a sticky situation in 22.
If we're going down the no Stroll route,
which I wish we could.
But just think what he would have done for Aston Martin last year if it was him. If it was him and Alonso in Aston Martin,
they wouldn't have finished 5th in the World Constructors.
Nope.
No, and I think he might.
They'd have had no more podiums. Like,
of course not.
They'd have had a bunch of fourths.
I was going to say, how many fourth places would they have had? Well, yeah, it's just a shame that this is probably, this is the peak Haas time of the year because they're not going to spend any money on development, are they?
No.
Yeah, we'll have an upgrade for the car. Oh, when? Testing next year.
I mean, maybe because they seem to have some money from somewhere now. I was listening to, I can't remember, it was probably the race, to be perfectly honest, but there was a podcast with Gunther Steiner on, and he said that his big problem was trying to get money out of Gene Haas. So he had to go elsewhere to try and find money, and that was, he said, a huge part of his job was getting funding for the team where his time could have been spent better in other areas. And he seemed to suggest that since letting Gunther go, that Gene Haas has come to terms with the fact that he's actually going to have to put some money into the team, and that's why the team has been doing better now, is because he's done that. So I hope they will have like more of a development curve now. I don't think they're gonna like pull a McLaren, but I don't think this is going to be them till the end of the year.
Is the funding necessarily from Gene though, or is it that Hulkenberg comes with lots of Decra money?
No, I think it's if the way Gunther was talking, it was Gene that decided to put more money into the team.
Fair enough.
I mean, the Hulk Decra money is replacing, I'll probably say a portion of what Mazepin was bringing in from Eurochem.
Doesn't crash as much though, does he?
Yeah. I mean, Schumacher's 1-1 Schlund deal was bringing in quite a lot
Yeah.
as well. Lousy web hosts, by the way. In fact, 1-1 are the exact reason that we're hosted on Cloud Above. Because I had a rant about 1-1's customer service on Twitter, and somebody from Cloud Above got in touch and said, what can we do to help? So
There you go.
So I told them, and they did. And we've been hosting with them for nearly 10 years now.
Good stuff. Thank you, Cloud Above, for stuff.
And they don't charge us for the excess bandwidth that this podcast uses, which is nice. But yeah, if Haas do actually get some development in, it'd be good to see them troubling the points rather than just sort of being on the cusp. I mean, they were what 7.5 and 8.5 seconds away from 10th.
Yeah,
Which was
and that
Tsunoda.
10th was basically, and that 10th could have been 9th, but 9th had a very good strategy. If that makes sense. I think that was a standout performance from Stroll, which you wouldn't normally get on a which you normally wouldn't get on a.
I was gonna say we've gone quickly from let's get rid of Stroll to standout performance from Stroll.
Oh, but I was watching up this morning. Well, that detail wasn't important, but that's what I was doing at the time. I thought to myself, was that his best race in F1?
Well, I think that time he got a podium was pretty good.
It
Those
was
2 times he
so-
got a podium.
Who is it? Someone on a podcast the other week said, Stroll's got 3 podiums, and someone else replied saying, no, he's got 3 bottled wins.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
That isn't wrong.
No, that does sound about right. We'll get to Aston
Sorry,
Martin.
yeah.
We'll get to Aston Martin in a minute, 'cause I think we need to do RB next. Danny in 13th and Yuki in that 10th place. Was the Daniel Ricciardo Miami sprint a blip?
Who knows?
And
A good blip.
yeah, and are we seeing what Danny is now?
I don't know.
Because he didn't really, I don't know, he didn't really impress this weekend greatly. All right, yeah, he was good in qualifying, but
It just both RBs suffered an awful strategy of pit in lap 12 to undercut everyone and then pray for a safety car at the end, which didn't work out.
yeah, I mean, according to Pirelli, first projected pit stops were going to be, what was it, 22 to 27 for the medium runners,
Yeah.
and everyone was shocked when they came in that soon.
Yeah, 10, 11, 12. It's just not a strategy.
Yeah, if there'd have been a safety car, great. And a lot of the commentary this weekend was about the 100% probability of there being a safety car, and there wasn't. I mean,
Yeah.
technically there was at the end of the pit lane, but it didn't get used.
Turns out you can't predict what's about to happen.
Which is why you never see a skint bookmaker. Yeah, I think with a better strategy, would we have seen more?
Yeah, potentially. I reckon you wouldn't have seen anything above 9th, but I reckon Tsunoda might have kept his 9th. I don't know if Danny would be in the points.
Yeah, I mean, Yuki
Hulkenberg was too good.
Yuki got off to a bit of a bad start as well, didn't he? I think he lose a couple of places on the in the
Yeah,
first
he
couple of
did.
laps.
Yeah, he lost out to Hamilton immediately, didn't he? And someone else, Perez.
I think
It was Perez.
Perez got past him fairly quickly.
He was stunning in qualifying.
Absolutely,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
qualifying and practice, absolutely great. But yeah, kind of double hampered by couldn't get it off the line, and no viable plan from the team.
Yeah.
You know, they should have looked at a plan B when when he had the bad start.
Did anyone see the photo of him on the Thursday when they all went out to do the Senna run in the wet? And they're holding up the Forever Senna flags. And there's just everyone there sort of, elbow height, holding up the flag. And Yuki's head barely pops up above the flag. It's a photo where you go there, but it's, when before a football match, the camera comes across as you sing the national anthem and the cameraman forgets to dip down for the short arse. It was that. Tiny man.
Who always gets the tallest mascot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a rule of football where the shortest player gets the tallest mascot, sometimes taller than they are.
Yeah. Which one of you's a player? Danny Rick got done by Kevin Magnussen, who started 18th and had the strategy which everyone should have done, which was run the mediums into the early 30s and then pit for a set of hards, which will remain decently fresh towards the end. But they didn't. I think if either of the RBs had done that, I reckon Tsunoda's guaranteed points, and maybe Danny jumps Hulk, but that might not have been points because Stroll did the same. But yeah, Magnussen had a very good strategy essentially.
Yeah, and I think that was the undoing of RB or V Crabs or whatever we're calling them this week. And Danny needs less races like that if he's going to be in a car next year.
Yeah,
I think he'll still be able to get himself a drive next year. I just don't think it's going to be a Red Bull.
I don't know where it'll be though.
Yeah, Marco's still got a soft spot for him, hasn't he?
I think he could definitely still stay in RB. I think he could maybe go to Haas. I think he could possibly go to Williams.
Yeah, Williams might be a good fit alongside Albon.
Never forget the marketability of Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, the guy sells shirts, hats, and cowboy paraphernalia.
Yeah, for other drivers.
Yeah.
You're like he can sell Vettel shirts. He's like that much. But yeah, I don't know. I'm biased with this because I really want it to work out for him. I want to see Daniel Ricciardo, the guy where you go, if you give him the car, he can be world champion again.
Yeah.
And I'm desperate for him to stay in Formula One next year, because if he can stay in Formula One next year and do the simulator work with the team for the 2026 rule change, Formula One might come back to him.
Yeah.
And because that's really what's happened here is Formula One's just drifted away from him. And if he can just cling on for another season and a half, essentially, into 26, then I mean, it might just be whatever's going on might still be part of the new cars, but it's you'll never know unless he stays around.
Yeah. And why are all the kiddywinks on Twitter not happy with Daniel Ricciardo at the moment? They've all sort of turned on him.
Did he look at Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah, gave him a stern look. the lower caps brigade. They're all don't like Daniel Ricciardo. Oh God, or something slightly more witty, not much more witty. But yeah, I don't get it. When he had a stinker at the actual race in Miami, everyone was celebrating. I didn't get why.
It's fucking insane. I tell you what, if all the people that tweeted about Formula One actually watched Formula One, Formula One's viewing figures would look more like Steam active user accounts.
We'll move on to Aston Martin. 1 9th place for Lance, 1 19th place and last in testing for Alonso.
Two bad weekends for Fernando, innit?
Yeah.
Is Stroll now the number one driver at Aston Martin?
until Fernando learns how to do a quali run, yes.
I mean, has Stroll ever
Good night,
gone
everybody.
well? I don't think Stroll has ever gone particularly well in Monaco, so I think this may be a short-lived stint of success for him.
What's that? A wall. Oh, shit.
No, it's a fucking wall. Don't forget, that's what he was in.
Oh, yeah. In the fucking wall, man. Go about it.
Yeah, Alonso is he's hit a rough patch.
Yeah.
Is it the
Seriously rough.
is it the post-contract malaise? You know, he's got his new multi-year deal and sod it, I'm safe.
No, that's not the Fernando way. I think it was Mark Hughes was talking about Fernando's issues in this race, and he said that he believes that looking at Fernando, he is a driver that is not willing to accept the limitations of the car, and is essentially trying to drive the car to a place that it doesn't want to go, and that's why it's spitting him off.
Because this year's car does not compare in any way, shape, or form to last year's.
No.
Or the one at the start of the season when Fernando was surprising the hell out of us all with the number of podiums he was getting.
I wouldn't don't forget the car, although it wasn't a great in Miami, it wasn't awful. This week was a particularly bad week. They brought loads of new updates for the car. So just because the updates didn't sort of bear fruit the first time you put them on doesn't necessarily mean that the updates are bust. I think we're going to have to wait another couple of weeks before we work out whether Aston Martin has left Mercedes up the road and gone backwards, or whether they're still there with Mercedes.
Yeah, I think we'll find out more. If not Canada, then definitely Spain, because Spain usually tends to be the great leveler.
Yeah, and Canada's a good race for Alonso as well, isn't it? So that he should be, if the car is capable of putting him somewhere, he should be at least towards the sharp end in Canada, you would have thought. Stroll's quite good in Canada as well, isn't he, thinking about it?
I think he's all right.
If only he'd stay there. Thank you very much.
But I think they've got to pull the trigger on him for next season. Sorry.
Stroll.
Yeah.
Hold up. That's a bit, I don't like the bloke, but that's a bit strong.
All right, take him to a farm upstate where he can chase rabbits. Yeah, I think it's his time. They've got Drogovic waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Drogovic is another Teo Porcher, though. I don't think he's going to get a chance. I reckon if they do get rid of Stroll, they're going to nick Yuki Tsunoda.
That would make sense for Honda.
Yeah. It sounds like they're not going to nick Albon. I reckon they'll take Tsunoda.
Just trying to think of what other drivers Honda have got on their books.
Have they still got Iwasa, who I think is doing Super Formula this year?
Yeah.
And Colton Herta.
He's not ready.
No. And they're not going to put him in Formula One by the sounds of it.
He had the McLaren test, but nothing seemed to come of that, and the FIA wouldn't give him a super license.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it Red Bull that wanted to bring him in to Toro Rosso?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I think the idea that IndyCar doesn't go towards super license points is just stupid.
Well, what is it? The Indy champion at the time got as many points as the winner of F3.
You get points, but it's not like good points. I think the champion might just get enough for a super license, but it's if you're not winning the IndyCar title, you're not getting a super license.
The further down, I think it's fifth place in the championship equates to supercarts.
Oh, it's fucking stupid. It should be that should get super like good points, and so should World Endurance Championship. It's any Premier Class series. Fucking NASCAR should count towards super license points. If Red Bull truly want to go out and hire whichever 60-year-old wins the championship that year, they should be able to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Just tangenting off for a second while we're talking Indian NASCAR. Kyle Larson this weekend. Madman.
Yeah, I saw that.
Utterly.
I saw him getting the other people hadn't qualified by the time he was getting in the helicopter.
Yeah.
But he was back there today practicing.
I mean,
was
he? Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was practicing.
I'll let Jane fill me in later.
I guess it was a warm up for what he's going to need to do next weekend.
Yeah. Is he going to have to do the same?
Yeah, it's going to be straight out the car as soon as Indy's finished, and then helicopter flight to Charlotte in North Carolina where the race is, and then helicopter to the track. And I reckon he'll just get there in time for the command to start your engines.
But what if he wins the bloody Indy 500?
It's going to be
full of milk.
It's going to be a very short press conference, and he'll be spitting milk everywhere.
There's one thing I don't want to do before getting on a helicopter. There's 100 things, but drinking a gallon of milk is not one of them.
To be fair, I don't think they tend to drink it all, do they? A lot of it gets worn, I think. But that, again, could be problematic if you're going to go and do another race. You don't want to be sort of curdy.
Yeah. Turning up at NASCAR going, you won then.
Yeah, I'll be. I mean, it's a triple header this weekend for big races. I mean, we've got Monaco, Indy, and then I'm not the biggest NASCAR fan in the world, but I'm going to watch what I can of the Coke 600 just to see how Kyle Larson does.
I was about to joke that it's the Coca-Cola race. No, it is.
Yeah, my neighbour's sponsor. Anyway. Where do we go after Aston Martin? Probably Mercedes, actually.
Actually, good tangent with all that Mercedes, because did anyone see Ted's notebook yesterday?
No.
So James Allison was just leaving the paddock when Ted was talking about Mercedes, and he collared him. And James Allison is holding this massive front nose, basically front nose without the wingy bits on. And Ted kept going, "Oh, can I see that? Can I have a look at that? Can I have a look at that? Why are you taking that on? Why does it carry on?" and all that. And James Allison goes, "Oh, I don't even know what's inside this." And Ted goes, "Well, can I have a look?" And James Allison says something like, "Oh, you better not. It might be all of our cocaine." Ted going, "Right, I'm off now."
Oh, yeah, I missed that. Oh, damn it. Mercedes finished where I thought they were going to finish.
Yeah.
Team competition of one team at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah. Formula 1.15.
Yeah. It's funny thought Formula One, isn't it? Like, especially if you go on social media, like we were saying before, and you were to like look at what people say about Mercedes, you'd think like, oh, Mercedes have made like the worst car in the world. It's ridiculous, you know. Like Haas would chew somebody's arm off for the fourth fastest car.
Yeah.
But I just don't see the improvement from them.
That's because there isn't any.
Yeah.
When they were winning everything and calling the car a diva, that was lols, wasn't it? Now it's a slow car that's awkward to drive and unpredictable. But they're not calling it a diva.
No, I just don't. It almost feels like Lewis leaving the team has kind of put them in a bit of a holding pattern almost.
Yeah.
It's like there doesn't feel like there's a driving force, for what are they going to do? This is not me. Please, like, like Lewis Hamilton fans out there, bestill your erections. I don't mean like the team has nowhere to go without Lewis, but it just seems that they need to make the decision now. I mean, how they haven't already come out with the thing of like, well, we're kind of going to start already focusing on next year's car. And realistically, when they say next year's car, it's like with an eye on 26.
I mean, don't forget, they can't legally start developing under the 26 regulations until
No,
January.
exactly.
Legally.
You can't stop people thinking, can you? I'm just like, I mean, I'm not doing it in the office, but like I've got this like folder of notes at home. I don't know. It's just there's something.
I mean, don't forget as well, they've lost one of the most important members of backroom staff, Jerome D'Ambrosio.
True.
What the hell? What is it? Deputy team principal he's moved to.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Ferrari.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a glow up.
I mean, his driving skills were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That man literally drove some cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite literally drove them.
It's quite his most famous moment. Well, two most famous moments. One, David Coulthard kept calling him Bird's Custard because of the Ambrosio thing. And two, him spinning in the pit lane that one time for laughs. It's been a good week for ex-F2 co-commentators. Jerome Ambrosio, Davide. Come on, Luca Filippi. It's all on you.
But yeah, I just, I didn't even know he was at Mercedes, and when I found out that he was going to Ferrari as deputy team principal, I was like, what the hell have I slept through?
Maybe Lewis just really rates him for his managerial skills.
Yeah, it could be a Lewis snag.
Yeah.
Loic Serra was due to for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I think that was sort of announced without being announced, sort of round about the start of the season. But
Lewis is going to take all of Mercedes, and next year it's going to be Toto on the pit wall with Bradley Lord to his left, looking around going, where is everyone? And still there's Esteban Gutierrez and Mick Schumacher stood there going, they'll call any day. Just check my phone. Nope, nothing yet.
if they're going to call Gutierrez, we'll call him on the 11th.
Whee. And they'll call Mick on the 39th of Nevertember.
It's my birthday. But yeah, Mercedes have the fourth fastest car. They are in a group of one. They are definitely faster than another 6 teams and not as fast as another 3.
Yeah. Well, they did that strange thing at the end where they decided to sacrifice 2 points for Russell to get Mercedes 1 extra point. I guess when you're 8th in the championship and it doesn't matter, I can understand it. It just seems a bit weird.
Yeah, I think he by all accounts wasn't very happy about that on the radio.
Yeah, and apparently he got told, "Don't worry, we've got a plan."
Lewis, will you let him past? No. Okay, we don't have a plan.
Maybe they're warming Lewis up for what he's going to get next season at Ferrari when we know what we're doing. We're checking.
Pit Leclerc. He's leading. Pit Leclerc.
I felt sorry for him because I don't think he needed to pit, did he? They brought him in to try and like do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they brought him in early, and it just hung him out to dry then on that on that stint. In fact, it was exactly the type of maneuver that if it would have happened to Lewis Hamilton, the Hamilton fans would have been going like, "Oh, they're favouring George." Oh, yeah. No, it's a shame, and I'll be like dead honest. The Mercedes really should favour George now because the morale is a bit at a low in that team. So you should probably try and keep the guy happy that's going to be there next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thing is, though, it's just I think they just wanted the constructors' points. I don't think they're going to gave a damn about the World Drivers' Championship this season. They're not winning it.
So no, absolutely.
It got the team an extra point.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, he needed to, just to clarify that, he did need to stop. Like when they brought him in, but he only needed to stop because they tried something with his first pit stop, with his pit stop initially, and brought him in too soon, essentially.
I don't know. I think the tyres would have probably hung on.
Maybe, but like from what I've heard from listening to people, they were saying like his tires were on the edge when they brought him in.
If he wasn't getting the feeling that they were, though, would he have complained about them that much? Are Mercedes getting iffy data from the cars?
I don't know.
It would have been so embarrassing if Alonso did take that fastest lap on the last lap.
Oh, yeah. Right, top three. Ferrari. Leclerc in third and Sainz in sixth. Fifth, sorry.
I think you can only look at this as disappointing from Ferrari.
Yeah.
Because they shouldn't have been on the podium. It should have been Piastri. If everything was even and he didn't get that penalty, no way Ferrari's finish ahead of McLaren. They are solidly the third fastest team, and they brought their big upgrade this weekend to this race,
which they said will take a few races to show through. They were was that getting the excuses in early? Because
it sounds excusey.
That is a Ferrari thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you bringing your? Why is the Italian team bringing their big upgrade to Italy?
If it doesn't
for
work,
it to show fruit in 2 races time, doesn't work with me. Yeah, I mean, Ferrari's obviously on the way. You know, they are a much better functioning team than they have been for an awful long time.
I think the Fred Vasseur effect is now finally starting to show.
Yeah, but they've definitely been like they've been gazumped by McLaren.
Yeah,
they did sloppy strategy again, didn't they? By thinking they were going to leave Sainz out longer, bottling it, but doing it long enough that Piastri got the jump on them in the pits.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's prime Ferrari, isn't it?
But it wasn't. They didn't leave Sainz out long enough that he had newer tyres, particularly, but too long to maintain his position.
I think I said during the race that they're going to spend so long trying to fight Lando that halfway through the race they'll realise that they should have been fighting Piastri and they've lost out. And that didn't completely happen, but that's where it went in the end. I think Piastri probably could have done them both had I invented a scenario in my head where he could. I'd say I'll have to back up, actually. Had he not got his grid drop, I think that's a McLaren 2-3.
Yeah.
And Ferrari have lucked in, essentially, there.
I mean,
and that little moment where Leclerc looked quick was nice, but not realistic.
I mean, the thing was at the time, I mean, Leclerc was getting to within DRS range of Lando, but it was when Lando was saving the tyres. I mean, he said he'd got no pace. And it showed because Verstappen had pulled out something like 7.5 seconds on him. Leclerc was within about a second. And then when he got told to play with his toys, which is what they described all the settings on the steering wheel as, we saw what pace the McLaren had, and he'd saved the tyres for it. And by that point, Leclerc had nothing left.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, possibly Ferrari strategized themselves out of a better result.
Yeah, potentially. But I think the only thing which could have been improved for them at the end of the day was Sainz above Piastri. Otherwise, they sort of maximised what they had.
Yeah, like I said, looked into it with Piastri's penalty. I mean, moving on to McLaren, just the amount of progress that they're making is. Have we got our old McLaren back?
It's looking good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Lando
don't-
Lando closing Verstappen down. Two more laps, I reckon. He'd have done it.
Yeah, I think so. I think two more laps he'd have done it. If it was a different circuit, he'd have already done it.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if he was 7/10 or so in the final lap on a Abu Dhabi or a Bahrain, maybe so.
But yeah, of course you don't. There's no DRS after there's only one DRS section, so as soon as you go through Tamburello, that's it.
It's a short lap as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's only about 125,
Something like that.
Yeah, even less than that, I think it was in the end.
Oh god, yeah, it is. It's a lot less. I was looking at the race time. Yeah, 118.
Yeah, short lap.
So yeah, on another circuit with extra DRS zones and more straights and more passing opportunities, because that was the thing that got brought up. The only real place where you can pass is into Tamburello.
Yeah.
Somebody suggested, and I can't remember who it was that said it. Putting a chicane in before the first Rivazza, and then you'd get another opportunity there with a decent exit. I think that would probably do it. But yeah, just have a track like that with only one passing place. It kind of takes the excitement away from the end of the race.
Yeah, because it's going to be a last lap overtake. Well, it can't be, because as soon as you go onto the last lap, if the overtake isn't done, you can't. There's nowhere else.
Yeah, once you're through the first two corners, that's it. You've got a hold station because you've got nowhere to go, and the only way that you can get past somebody is if they go off. But no, stunning performance from McLaren. I think Piastri did deserve the penalty. He was definitely going a little bit too slow in qualifying.
Yeah, it was a deserved penalty. It was probably more down to McLaren than Piastri, I guess, though.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when something like that happens, the driver takes the hit.
Yeah.
It's the same as Albon for the tyre, isn't it? That's not his fault.
Yeah.
But he gets the time
I'm
penalty.
not saying he shouldn't have had it, but
gotcha.
it was just a shame. It was probably Piastri's best weekend, I think, up to that point.
Yeah,
including drive.
Yeah, I mean, he out-qualified Lando on pace.
I do sort of think that even though Piastri out-qualified Lando, had he still started second, I imagine we probably would have got to a point where he would have still won the race. Not still won the race. He still would have lost out to Lando, because Lando
every chance.
is much better at tyres than Piastri ever is at.
I don't know what happened there, Kieran. You just faded out.
Yeah.
Like a tyre.
I hit the wrong button on my desk. I hit literally fade out on my desk.
Well, it worked excellently.
Yeah. I ran off into the distance midpoint.
I did think that when it came to Piastri, that's the only hole I found in his whole race weekend, apart from the penalty, obviously. He charged at Leclerc, and I don't know whether he just used too much of his tires or something like that, but he definitely had that come the end of the race. You go, oh, how's Piastri there?
Yeah.
I wish something could be done about the tyre situation, and one-stop races are always bloody boring.
I think the other issue McLaren had is when they switched onto the hards, they were on used hards, whereas Ferrari were on new.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's a tyre problem. I think this is and I'm sure he'll get over it. I'm not like throwing Piastri out so quickly. But this seems to be a Piastri problem rather than a tyre problem, because when you look at Max and Lando, they were pushing really hard all race. And I think I don't necessarily think it's a case of going too hard on the tyres. I think it's the bringing in phase. I don't think he can bring the tyres in properly. and that's where he's using all the life out of his tires straight after the pit stop, and then he suffers with it through the rest of the stint, rather than the tires sort of falling off a cliff.
Well, I think Lando said that was his main complaint, that he couldn't get the tyres in the right window early on, and that kind of compromised things for him a bit.
I think it'll come for Piastri. I mean, he's still very early in his career. He obviously didn't race at Imola last year, so that was his first F1 race there.
It was Hulkenberg's first
race
ever
Yeah.
in any class there.
I think there's every chance that as soon as Piastri gets his head around the tires, that we might be saying asking next year whether McLaren have the strongest driver lineup in Formula One.
Yeah, absolutely.
It depends who's in the other Red Bull.
True. Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be Perez.
No, I don't think it's Perez.
I agree.
No, out in Q2 and got up to 8th, and didn't really do much all weekend. He was
it was fairly forgettable.
I think he's there for the participation award, or certainly on the shortlist.
Yeah, he did a bad version essentially of what Magnussen and Stroll did, except he was on the hard tyres. His hard tyres were looking more worn than Stroll and Magnussen's mediums were by lap 25, 30 odd. He was just falling backwards.
Yeah, when he eventually pitted, I was waiting to see what where he'd come out, and was he going to be able to make up the places? And people were just passing him for fun when he did.
Yeah.
Apart from Lewis, he woke up again when Lewis was trying to get past him.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a bit of a knout of a weekend for him.
Yeah.
And it's like
totally.
Your message in our chat, Kieran, Perez weekend comes round earlier every year.
Really does though, doesn't it? Because we're at this point where you go, oh, nice first 6 races there, Perez. You're out in Q2 though.
Is it the race after Miami every year where his season just goes into freefall?
Yeah. Well, last year it was the race called Miami, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an improvement.
Yeah, he's made one bonus weekend. You get him there. You'll be champion in 2047.
I tell you what, though, they really need to, as in Red Bull, they need to sort their driver situation out, because it's more than just Chandok now. I've heard suggest that they think Max will race next year for Red Bull, and have already planned to take 2026 off.
Yeah.
The idea being it's just too much of a gamble to go for a team when you don't have to. Because he could theoretically, the way the contracts would probably work, and for instance, Lewis's contract would be up with Ferrari by going into 2027. You could, and I think Leclerc's contract might be up in 27 as well. But
and Alonso will have signed another 5-year extension.
Yes. But Max is good enough that he could race next year, probably win the World Championship, unless something exceptional happens to McLaren's car development or Ferrari's car development over the next 12 months. Take a year off, and then pick which team he wants to come back to. So if that happens and that team doesn't happen to be Red Bull, then first of all, they're going to need a lead driver for 2026 if he decides he just want to race for 26. That cannot be Sergio Perez as their lead driver. So realistically, they need a number 2 for Max for next year, with the eye of he might be our number 1 come 26.
Carlos Sainz.
It makes all the sense in the world. It makes all the sense in the world. How that isn't a done deal and signed, I've no idea. And signed, I've no idea.
Hold up. That's it. There we go. Yeah, it makes total sense. You're spot on, right? I don't see why there's no top team right now looking at Carlos. Why? One top team got rid of him. Two others have potentially one team potentially has 2 vacancies next year or the year afterwards, and they'll go, nah, let him go to Audi, where he'll finish 12th for the rest of his career.
It's the most unfair driver sacking I can remember in Formula One.
Damon Hill?
There's a fun little quiz.
Jensen. Yeah, Jensen was pretty rough. Jensen and Damon was pretty rough, and both of those are world champions. So yeah, okay, I'll take both of them, but it's right up there.
Then
who else?
Then we come to another Max Verstappen win. All right, not as dominant as they all have been, but he had to wring every last bit out of that car for the last sort of 10 laps.
Yeah.
All weekend.
He won that. Yeah.
I don't think he ever looked happy with it in practice.
Definitely didn't sound happy with it in interviews, team radio, press quotes.
Throughout quali, I think, even right up until Q3, it was like, who's it going to be? Could be anyone. Could have been Tsunoda at one point.
I love to have seen that.
And then he just popped up when it mattered.
Yeah, but he's not going to win the Constructors' title on his own this year.
No.
Probably not.
I've got a theory as well about the Red Bull.
Here we go.
Given the last two years, I think the Red Bull is now, over the rest of the season, is going to turn into a diva. Like the Mercedes car, because I think it might have always been like that. But because if you remember, like last year, Max was often complaining about like this, that, and the other. Not quite getting the setup on the car right because things. But it didn't matter because nobody was close enough to challenge them. So if McLaren have a car which is on paper slightly slower than the Red Bull, but much easier to get into a working window and like much more compliant when they're trying to sort of set up out, I think they're going to be able to force Red Bull into a position where their car doesn't work properly more often.
Yeah,
interesting.
Because that's what happened at the end of this race. It was just the fact that them being close meant that Red Bull had to push their setup harder, which meant come the end of the race, that car wasn't working properly again.
Yeah, you may well be onto something there. Because, I think we got to leave me alone at one point from Max, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, there was definitely someone did a leave me alone.
Yeah, and that was it. It was just for information. And he fired something else back, and I was like,
yes,
and that's for information as well.
Yeah, I did enjoy Lando's. At one point, didn't he say, "It's fine. I can see everything's okay. I'm happy. Thank you." The sarcastic cut of "Thank you." I'm being nice because I'm meant to, but I know I'm being a bit of an arse.
But my favorite part of the Lando communications was when he radioed in saying, "Why am I slower than the cars around me?" And they said, "It's okay, you're saving your tires." I said, "Yeah, but I've got no pace." Like, all the tires can't go quickly.
Right, rock stars and wankers. Lando, obviously, in the rock star category.
I've drive of the day as well. Do we Can we have like a DNF from Vettel? Not from Vettel. Wow, he's had a few.
We can definitely have a DNF for Vettel because he did not finish.
From Max, would a single DNF from Max potentially put Lando at least into the outsider for the championship category that we could start getting excited for?
I think you need 3.
There's 60 points between them at the moment.
Right, so two DNFs Verstappen needs then to push him into like the challenging outsider thing. That's quite a lot of DNFs for a Red Bull, isn't it?
Yeah,
you just know he'll try and lap someone like Gasly from the lead in Spain, and Gasly would somehow take him out.
I thought it was usually
Lando
Ocon that
Luck.
I was
did
going to say
that.
Ocon's done that to him before, hasn't he? And then he shoved him in a garage.
Oh yeah, the old Ocon Max at Brazil. Yeah,
I'm go-
It's a real shame though, because like I genuinely think we could have, like, if that win would have happened, maybe like race 1 or 2, if they'd have brought this car to the beginning of the season like they wanted to, we could have been going, all right, well, there's a championship on here. You know,
yeah.
it's unusual for somebody to win their first Grand Prix and then win the championship that year. But you would have thought to yourself, oh, actually, right, this could be on.
Yeah.
Nearly happened to Lewis.
Did nearly happen to Lewis.
Farina, that definitely happened with him.
Was he
Yes.
the first world champion?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It had to happen to someone.
Default.
I did like that stat saying no one has ever won their first race in Formula One. Like, one person definitely did.
I'm going to put Verstappen down as a rock star just for managing to get the car home in first when it ragged the absolute hell out of it.
Yeah. Stroll's strategist.
I like the little asterisk.
Yeah. I'd say Lance Stroll's strategist, yeah. Sonoda for
I was going to
most
say,
of it.
I'd say Yuki as well.
Yeah.
That was a definite rock star performance. Wankers. I mean, the stewards always end up on there, regardless.
None of us want to say Alonso, do we?
No.
I'm just going to go.
Aston Martin.
I'm just going to go participation award for Aston Martin. Well, for Alonso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of candidates for participation award.
Yes.
Alonso definitely, Sargent, both Alpine drivers, and
Yeah,
Perez.
14th downwards.
Do you know what?
and Perez.
McLaren and Piastri as well for what gave him the penalty, which stopped him being like front row.
So McLaren gets the Gene Simmons award.
Because that's the thing. You do think to yourself, if Lando and Piastri start second and third, one of those McLarens wins that race.
There is every chance.
Be good because they could have played a game then with Verstappen. Because again, with Perez being out of the way, he's trying to fight two cars. You can only cover one off.
Yeah. You've always got a car chasing you down, and you're always protecting your tyres, aren't you?
Yeah.
You could have split strategies. You could have really made Max panic.
That could happen. Right, so we've got Monaco coming up this weekend, the annual parade round all the yachts.
Is there any
What's the
danger
difference
of
this
rain?
year?
Huh?
Sorry.
We all spoke there.
I'll go first. I was asking about rain. Do we know what the deal is there?
Well, Crofty's back, so it's going to get talked about.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, other rock star, Harry Benjamin, for doing his first live Sky commentary, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was all
It was
right.
solid. I think he needs someone with a bit more pizzazz than Karun next to him.
You're right. Yeah, you
If
are
we're going to
right.
start talking broadcasts, I'm going to give a Rockstar Award to F1 TV for constantly doing the best coverage Formula One's ever had.
Not Spawn.
No.
No, I think
yeah,
they're
I
a bit
thought Harry
confused by
Benjamin
the
was all
Isle of
right.
Man, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't even get the highlights over here. Legally.
Monaco, rain on Saturday.
Yes.
But, on the BBC weather thing, they've gone, it's going to rain. But on the hour-by-hour breakdown, it's 1 hour at midday.
Yeah.
So sunshine.
Yes.
Yeah. Chances of Leclerc putting it into the wall, because he usually does.
High. Forecast is high for that.
I mean, this is more interesting than actually doing race position predictions.
Max DNF.
Ooh,
that
that's
is-
controversial.
That is bold.
Max DNF, because let's face it, if those walls would have been a bit tighter at some point, he'd have had a right crack at some point over this weekend. So if he's in another position where he can't quite get that Red Bull working, and he's due one, Max is like due a silly DNF.
I mean, don't forget though, at Monaco, you don't actually go fast enough to get the car into a workable, quick state.
No, but I mean, they've still got to do, they've still got to make it like drivable.
Yeah.
Anyone told
I know,
Alpine?
just a feeling, and the fact that I'm wishing for just a couple of DNFs.
Can I just quickly go? I think this is the first time this has ever happened. I'm going for it. In the predictions for Imola, I got the top 3 right.
Oh.
That never happens. Oh, and I got 4th, 5th, and 5th, 4th. I actually got points this week.
Well, hey, I will update the website. It will be updated by the time this comes out. And if you want to take a stab at doing Monaco predictions, 3legsportwheels.com, go to the games section, and the prediction league is there. If you want to get in touch,
Quick bit of sorry,
go on.
I'm completely interrupting here. Quick bit of respect for Tom Ling, who put yes, there will be a safety car, but no DNFs. Shout out to Tom.
That's the opposite of what happened.
Apparently. Well, oh yeah, no, hold up, there were DNFs. Yeah,
Yeah, there was a DNF and no safety car.
yeah. No. I mean, for the balls. That's what I meant. As in the balls of going, safety car, yeah, for sure. Anyone go crash? Nah. No.
Where was I? Yeah, if you want to get in touch, 3legsportwheels@gmail.com or at 3legsportwheels on all the socials. And on Twitter, we are...
At Sean Cowper.
At Kieran is boring.
At the Lee Stevens.
And I'm at Pablo100, and Flood, wherever he is at Flood21. He's going to have to come back at some point soon.
Mm-hmm.
He was here not that long ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, but, right, we went on holiday last year in October, and he cat sat for us. And we've still got the bottle of Spanish liqueur that we got for him as a thank you present. And it's still there, and he's not been round to collect it.
I just added him, when was it? Before the weekend. One day last week, I added him to our Isle of Wight artists list at Vectis Radio. So now he might get played once an hour, even though he moved off there when he was about 9 or something, didn't he?
If he was around, you could ask him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Good point.
If you want to support us as well, we've got the Patreon at patreon.com/3legsportwheels. You can support us financially on that by donating anything from $1, £1, €1 a month, and we'll have to do another Patreon show soon because it has been a while since we've talked utter tangents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe try and do one of those next week.
See if we've got time to do one next week, because don't forget those Isle of Man types are going to be busy and all over the place with.
Have you got
with
gigs
TT.
over period?
I've got 4.
I've got 1.
Yeah.
Mad Jacks.
I'm playing at Mad Jack's as well. It's our local rock axe throwing cocktail bar.
Two things that probably shouldn't be mixed.
Someone at Dragon's Den goes on with that. They go, "You fucking what?"
I want to say it's our local. It is actually mine and Sean's local.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm playing an axe throwing bar and I'm playing a beach.
We do have normal pubs as well.
I'm doing 2 normal pubs.
We have a sign in town. Sorry, everyone can get to bed in a second. We have a sign in town which just points off in the middle of a town centre to beach, just in the middle of nowhere. In where I am right now, Leighton Buzzard, famously one of the most landlocked town in the country.
I mean, that's true of anywhere, isn't it? If you keep driving for long enough in that direction, you will hit beach.
Beach 140 miles that way. But we went to one of these Mayfair things a couple of weeks ago, and we went into this field, just, bog standard field in the middle of a town. And right in the middle of it is a tiny, 6 metre by 6 metre sand pit. I thought, fuck, that's the beach. Jane took a photo in front of me, in front of it. I'll send it to you. I'll have to remember to do that.
So for more crap like that, subscribe to Patreon, and when we do the Patreon show in the next couple of weeks, enjoy.
Yes.
Right, enjoy Monaco, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.